Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Super7 Ghost BC Ultimate Papa Emeritus II, a figure I was actually planning on holding off on reviewing until this year's edition of the Overlord Productions Halloween Spooktacular, but since we are approaching my top action figures of 2022 video, which should be going up about a week from now, I figured why not bust this guy out and take a closer look at him, and I'm kind of glad I did, because there's a couple quality control issues I had with my particular figure, hoping they're not widespread, but if you have any issues with yours, let me know in the comments below. But before we get into the meat and taters of this review, kindly moving the Papa out of the way here. Let's take a look-see at the standard Super7 Ultimates packaging. You got the big kind of ghost cross on the front there. Pulling this off. And actually, we didn't look at the back. Is there anything on the back? And there's the back. Pretty cool stuff there. Here is the front of the window box, looking like a stained glass window sorts. And there's the back. I really like the packaging that Super7 does, but I wouldn't mind paying like $10 less for just a blister card or something, you know, with a poly bag holding all the accessories. I feel like it would cut the cost down a little bit. But moving that out of the way, bringing our Papa Emeritus II back in. A little tricky to stand because of the robes, but you can get it to work. There we go. Now I do have Papa Emeritus the First to compare this guy to. We'll do that in just a minute here. But as far as his accessories go, he does come with multiple sets of hands. Starting off with this pair of grip hands with the incorrect hinge for a grip hand as the in and out hinge. It should be the other way. And while he does come with those in theory, mine had a bit of a snafu here, and I wound up with two right hands with the, I don't know, is it vertical, horizontal? I don't know what degree it's supposed to be, but you know what I mean. It's the up and down hinge, the hinge I like, and I got two right hands with my figure. So that is a no-no. It's supposed to have a right and a left. It's not like the NECA Warduke, who's got like one right grip hand specifically for a sword and one for the shield, even though I think that's kind of silly. And I double checked on this with customer service agent at Big Bad Toy Store where I got this guy, and they're like, no, he's supposed to have a left hand. So I'm going to contact Super7 about that, since BBTS doesn't do just replacement parts, and see if they can just send the hand. I'm not opposed to it. You know, the figure, but I kind of just need the hand. And one other thing, which we'll talk about in a minute here, because he also comes with a pair of fisticuffs, so you can punch you right in the kisser. Kind of wish he had some pointing hands. I feel like Papa Emeritus does a lot of pointing. I don't know about the devil horns per se, but some pointing hands would have been really cool. That said, we get a good old Tobias Forge head, complete with the shades and a removable fedora. You can see his balding head on top there. Kind of looks like my old high school principal and middle school vice principal, Mr. Benefield. So shout out to Mr. Benefield. So yeah, that's kind of funny. But I like him with the fedora on. It's pretty cool. Pretty fly, if I do say so myself. He does, of course, come with a mic stand with a removable microphone, which he can hold in his two right grip hands. Of course, mine comes with two right grip hands. Now, I don't know if this piece is supposed to come out or if it's supposed to be glued in there, but if that's the case, then I'll just have my dad glue it. Big deal. But there it is. I almost thought this piece is what came out. I don't know, this comes out too. Yeah, I could flip this around and it'll be tighter. No, it's just straight up kind of loose. Very interesting. I don't remember the other one coming apart this much. So you can't take the mic stand apart, which is odd. Don't remember that being a thing before. I don't know if you could take the bottom piece out. You can't take the bottom out, but you can take everything else off. So that's interesting. Let me just double check that, because it felt like, I don't know if it's glued or what, but no, it's not spinning or nothing, so I'm going to say that doesn't come out. Then he comes with the Incense Burner, which I don't know if this is the same as the first one or if it's a little different. I didn't get all of Papa Emeritus the first out to compare this guy to, but you can slip his little fingers in there and he can hold it on his palm like this and spread smoke across the stage. That gives you a migraine because your boy is not a fan of incense. And then I think the coolest accessory is this upside down cross staff. You can give to like a satanic wizard if you want. I almost wonder if this isn't supposed to go in the mic stand and you can have like a super tall. That's pretty cool, actually. I almost don't think that's the point of that, but it's an option, I guess. It's got like the same little ribbed pieces the mic stand has, so I don't know. It's an option. It's a thing. You can do it. Maybe that's why that comes apart. But other than that, you of course get the robe. Take a closer look at him here. You get the soft goods robe, complete with the bendy wire and some open hands, and of course the iconic Pope skeleton makeup head there. I will say, there is one issue with my robe, and that is the broken wire on this side. Right here. The wire is clearly snapped and broken. So I'm going to have to get a new robe and a hand for this guy. I'm kind of hoping I don't have to do some weird exchange crap, because your boy's not very good at shipping stuff, okay? I don't have extra money to be shipping stuff. The stuff costs enough as it is. That should just be hooked up. Is there another busted piece up here? I think there's another busted piece right here. Oh, there is. It's broken up here too. I'm just discovering that now. Holy crap. So the robe on mine is a total turd sandwich and is broken in two places. And I'm pretty sure I didn't do that. So let me just double check. Is there anything busted over here? No, this isn't broken. Like, I bent this thing quite a bit. Kind of curl it up. And it didn't break. So I'm going to just assume that it was already broken. Because I'm pretty careful with the wired soft goods on figures. Because I know they can break. The wires are very thin. And it's broken in two places. I didn't realize that before I recorded Final Thoughts. That's wild. Okay. So there's a busted part there. Oh, there's actually there's two busted parts, I think, up here on the sleeve. Well, that sucks. Okay. Well, luckily Super7, unlike some companies, stands by their products, at least, and will most likely do something about that, because that freaking blows. There is legit like two busted areas on, at least two, if not maybe three, on my robe. Well then, I think this one is starting to go right here, this little bend. So that does suck. I did not notice that other one until just now. So yeah, I definitely need a new robe. It actually doesn't go through the entire backside either. It kind of stops right here. You can even see that. It stops right here where my hand is. And there's no wire here. There's nothing. So obviously, like, the right side is fine. I have not noticed any breakage or anything on the wire. So I'm just going to say be careful anyways. But I'm pretty sure I didn't do that. Even though I had this side bent quite a lot, there's nothing broken over here. there is no broken pieces. So I'm going to just say that that's a fluke with mine, and they're not all like that. So I will contact Super7 about this, because if I know my boy Rudy, he will fix it, because I had a little snafu with my ultimate Batula from the worst, which I got from my good buddy Evil Villain, so shout out to him. The leg broke, and they're sending me a replacement figure. I don't know if it's the whole thing with all the accessories or just the base body. Kind of hoping it's just the base body, but at any rate, it looks like I'm going to have to contact them about this guy too, who came out around the same time, so they should be able to help me out with that. That said, here is Papa Emeritus the First. Preparing him. And I like this look, this first look, but I think I prefer this one. Just because I got in the Ghost around the Meliora era. And let me check the wires on his robe. I think the wires are a little bit thicker on this first one. I think they are. Because there's no broken wires on this first one. And his robe, as you can see, is like bent all over the place. So I don't know what happened there. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Either way, I got in the Ghost around the time Papa Emeritus started rocking this look, so I am pretty partial to it. So yeah, I think even with the issues, I'm probably going to still consider this guy for the top Figures of the Year video, because it's most likely issues I'll get resolved relatively soon. So I'm just going to take the hands off this guy. Set those down. And we are going to now pop off the head, which doesn't stay on very tight, but I could probably heat that up and pinch it and fix that. That is not something I'm worried about. And like the first robe, you do have the little Velcro tabs on the underside that are very secure. Although one of them seems to be popping off, but some glue will fix that. But again, I got to replace the whole robe. Now, I don't know if I have to pull this whole... Alright, I only have to unvelcro one side. I should be able to pull this off. Probably would have been easier to undo the Velcro on both sides, but hey, it is what it is. Send that off to the side. Here is the base body, which has very tight shoulders now. I'm not used to that at all. Let's actually take that Tobias head and see if that fits on here. So I haven't actually tried that yet. Is this loose enough to fit? Not really. But there he is with that head, kind of sticking up a little bit. Here he is with the hat. We're just going to take that off. That's cool. It's a cool look, but I'm mostly going to be rocking the Pope head here. So I'm going to stick that back on. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if that's a little bit wide on the socket or what, but it's very loose fitting compared to the first one. Let's put the hands back on. And then we'll run down the articulation quick, because it has been a while since we've seen this buck. Surprisingly enough, the worst Ultimate Batula does not use any of these parts that I know of. So that's very odd. I would have figured he would have, but it is what it is. So articulation, he's got the double ball peg in the head. Again, mine kind of pops off, so be careful with that. Shoulders go out to the side. They do go down quite a bit. But you're going to have to work with this coat here and then get them down. Same with the other side. You kind of got to work with the rubber coat overlay there, and then you can get the arms down all the way. He's got single jointed elbows with rotation. He's got swivel hinge wrists. I'll have the appropriate hinges. He's got an ab crunch, which goes that far forward, that far back. He's got a waist twist, Works fine. I will say, this guy is significantly tighter than the worst figures. Again, I wish Batula just used this buck, and they put like the hands and feet, and the paint, and maybe a new torso on it. Because these parts are pretty solid. His hips can kick out about that far. Back down, forward, a little bit cockeyed. They kind of go out to the side a bit. Yeah, he's got like a V-cut thing going on there. You do get a little thigh cut in there on both sides, so that's a thing. You get a hinge at the knee, which is a little detented. You can straighten it out. You get your swivel down there, and then you get ball hinge feet, which I think is the biggest missed opportunity on Batula, because it looks like he has ball hinge feet, but he doesn't. That said, you do get the hinge in the foot with the rocker. You have peg holes at the bottom of the feet, but the McFarlane stand doesn't really work with this guy. So, take that for what you will. But yeah, that is pretty much Papa Emeritus II in a nutshell. Main reason I reviewed this figure, other than the top figures of the year video that should be coming out soon for me, Ghost is actually about to go on tour with Amon Amarth, another band I really like. And if that's not an Overlord show, I don't know what is. The only thing missing from it's like Behemoth and Lamb of God or something. So, yeah, that would be really fun to go to, but I highly doubt they're going anywhere near my area. Really sucks, because I'd love to see them again. They were amazing the first time I saw them, which is when they put out the, is it Danse Macabre? Which I'm sure they're going to make Cardinal Copia and whatnot from that era of Ghost, but I almost thought my Papa here on a rattle, but he does not. Trying to fit this robe over top of him here is a little bit difficult. Kind of widen the sleeve and stuff it in there. Like, see, I'm doing this crazy honky BS to this figure right now. He's like laying on the ground, the robe is getting pushed onto his body, and I'm not breaking any wires, so I'm gonna say that the wire in this is not cheap. It's just mine got jacked up during whatever, so it is what it is. It sucks, it's annoying. I don't have like any issues with customer service people. Like, I don't get snippety with them unless I like absolutely have to. I save that type of stuff for Mr. Brian. Surprise, he doesn't get a lot of things resolved that way. But I don't like spending the time on it. I wish the stuff was just good out the box, like at T-Biz's, I guess. I don't know. The heck some wanker got to get toy karma like him, but either way, it is what it is. These freaking ropes suck. There we go. The little Velcro thingies are kind of annoying, but there we go. I'll just plug the hands on and wrap this sucker up like a Christmas present. Or bow, whatever. And there we go. And now we just got to figure out how to get these arms down, because they are really tight. There. And I mean, this is kind of an amalgamation of the two robes that came with the first one, because he kind of has the little frillies going on, but he kind of doesn't. It's very interesting. But there is your Papa Emeritus II with his noggin. And yeah, I like this figure. Despite its issues, I like this figure a little bit more than the other one. My other one's one knee was a little bit loose, so, you know, it is what it is. But this one, it's, again, how Papa Emeritus looked when I got heavy into Ghosts when I was in college, so I'm a little bit more partial to this one, despite the fact that it does have two pretty much unacceptable quality control issues at this price point. But I know that Super7 stands by their product and will most likely try and help me out with this one. So, water under the bridge, I will say. But don't let it happen again, man, because I'm looking forward to that Slayer Minotaur, and I don't want to do any of this bull crap with him. Get it? Because he's a Minotaur? Ha ha ha. Really a Baphomet. But with that being said, before this review drags out any longer than it already has, we'll move on and take a look at how this guy compares to our two regulars and try and keep things short and, well, let's face it, this review is probably anything but short, but you know what I mean. So, with that being said, let's move right along and do just that. And as promised, since we kinda sorta already compared Papa Emeritus II to Papa Emeritus I, here he is alongside our two regulars, the Mythic Legions of Brother Mandibulus, Livid Spawn, who as usual, towers over everyone, because I don't count oversized satanic pope hats when it comes to size comparisons, because there's a phrase for doing something like that. I believe it's called cheating, because of course Papa Emeritus II would be taller if we included his oversized satanic pope hat, because it's an oversized satanic pope hat. What the heck do you think's going to happen? So, with that being said, time to wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the two minor quality control issues with my particular figure, again, I'm hoping those aren't a widespread problem across multiple figures, but if that is to be true, please pipe up in the comments below. I am very curious because as of right now, I haven't actually watched any other reviews of this guy, so I just straight up don't know. That said though, even with those issues, I do still prefer this version of Papa Emeritus to the first one, even though the first one arguably came with a lot more stuff for the same price point. I mean, we got two robes, two fully, pope-hatted heads, and two of these real metal incense burning thingies. So arguably that is the better figure as far as quantity goes, but as far as quality on the base body, the suited body, this one is much, much better. The joints are a little bit tighter, maybe a little too tight in the shoulders there, but it is a bit of an improvement. Just a bit of a snafu with the robe on mine, and the fact that he came with two is it vertical or horizontal? Either way, the correct hinge in the gripping hand on, again, my particular figure. I don't think that's a widespread issue, but I could be wrong. So, if you're like me, and you're collecting all the different versions of the Papa here, then this is a definite must-have. Or, if you passed on the first one, I think this is the one to get. This is how Papa Emeritus looked when Ghost got really, really big, and I believe won a Grammy Award, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, it's the Meliora era Papa Emeritus. That's when I got into Ghost. That's when I started listening to Ghost, so it's very sentimental to me, and even with the issues, I think I'm going to put him up as a contender for one of the top figures of the year, which is a video I should be doing in about a week or so stay tuned for that. But, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you're so inclined, please feel free to do all the YouTube rigmarole, as well as hit me up over on Instagram at Overlord Productions if you ever want to talk toys, music, or anything in particular. That's the #1 best way to get a hold of yours truly. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when quality control issues always seem to find your boy here. It is very unfortunate, but it is what it is. I can only review the figures I have, and, well, a lot of them have issues. What can I say? So, until next time, catch you guys later.